Hey everybody, thank you for joining me today. So we're going to be doing our color video, and we're going to be using this stamp set here. I'm actually just treating my paper real quick. I'm using watercolor paper, and I treated it with the EK Success powder tool because we're going to be doing some embossing. Okay, so once I have the stamp where I want it, I'm going to take the Versamark ink and ink it up. And I'm going to stamp it twice just because whenever you're using the Misty, I say why not, because that's one of the benefits of using it. And then you know for sure you got good amount of coverage, especially with it being a new stamp. I wanted to make sure I got, you know, enough of the ink on it. And then I'm using some rose gold embossing powder. We're just going to put that right back into the container. And I've said it once, I've said it again, make sure you heat up your tool, let it run for a little bit before you bring it to your project. It'll help minimize the warping. And I already had plans. I knew I was going to be doing some mild watercoloring. So whenever you use watercolor paper, if you're not going to tape it down to a board or anything, then most likely you just have to plan on using foam to put down your project. Otherwise it'll be kind of wonky. So I was trying to put some Distress Oxide inks on the top of the lid. It wasn't working. So I grabbed one of my ink blocks, or my stamp blocks, and just really put the ink right onto the block itself, and I'm using that as my palette. And I'm just grabbing the color and putting it into the leaves. Excuse me. And the embossing actually creates little wells, so you can color right on top, the water will settle, and then your color just fits right in the images. And then once I get the green done, then I'm going to move on to I think it's either the kind or the flowers here. We'll see in a second. Yep, we're using worn lipstick, and that's going to fill in the word kind. And we're just going to lightly clean it. What I like when you're doing like a watercolor technique, what makes watercolor so cool is that you can do layers of color if you want, or you can keep it nice and light and soft. You know, if I wanted to do a contrast, I could have gotten a darker pink and put it in the bottom and made it like shade up, or even combined it with the red. There's a lot of different things you can do. But the fun part is if you just want to do simple, fill in the color, that works too. And then that one is the Wilted Violet. So we started with Peel Paint, which is the green, the Worn Lipstick, and then the Wilted Violet. And then I'm also going to use on some of the flowers some fossilized amber. I'm using that for the center of the flowers that we've already done, and I'm going to color in some of the other flowers, the smaller ones that are at the bottom. Now while filling the yellow in, I did notice like little bits like peeking from the back that I missed. So I decided this flower right here, I was going to make like a lighter version of the red. And then I noticed that some of the green, like I had a leaf over here that I missed. So I do grab some more of the green and fill that in, which I do right there. And then I decide, you know what, I'm going to go behind each of these letters, and in the open space I'm going to put the green, so that way the pink kind of stands out more. And there's so many things you can do with this, really and truly. I suggest if you guys have anything like that, like large bunch of flowers or anything like that, heat emboss them, get your color pencils, or you can use you know, your distress inks, whatever you want, and you know, just color in. It's really kind of fun, and it has a great finished look with that embossing. Then I took the Starry Gonzai Tombi Starry Nights and just did a little bit of splatter, but I realized I wanted a little bit of a contrast. So I'm going to grab my black licorice. It's a hybrid ink. I smushed it a little bit on the block, added a lot of water, and just did a little bit of splattering with that. It wasn't very intense, but it was just a little bit of a contrast. So once I got that done, I decided to go ahead and turn this one into a card. So I'm taking an 8.5 by 11 sheet and cutting it at 4 1/4 to get my top folding card. We're going to score it at 5 1/2. And this particular paper is 110 pounds, so it's very strong and sturdy. And what I decided to do is cut down the focal image that we just did. I want to say I originally cut it at 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. I like to have a border around my images, so that's why I always cut mine down. And I just took 1/8 of an inch off of each side, so that way it would be nice and even, have a 1/4 inch border around from the card base. And now I'm just putting down foam tape so that way this will keep it nice and flat. And I just use my, I think it's the pickup tool, or they call it the everything tool. That's what Edith calls it in Scrapbooking with Me boutique. And it does help to bring up some of the tape backing on some of the harder foam tape. So it works for me. I like it. And once I got that on, I decided that I wanted to put a little bit of shimmer. So I grabbed my Tonic Nouveau, the shimmer pins. Yeah, shimmer marker, and put a little bit of shimmer on the inside. And then I decided I wanted a more contrast sentiment to go with it. And they have these thin, kind of like little, I guess, sayings that finish the kind, whether it be kindness, or like this one I used was, "You're my kind of person." And I thought that it would go really good on the front of the card, and in the black with white embossing, it's gonna have a lot of pop. So I treated the paper and then used the Glacier White from Nouveau, and I just wanted to kind of brush around it, make sure I didn't have any stragglers. And then we just heat that up. It doesn't take long. Once it's heated up, I just let it sit there for a few. And then I grabbed, usually I try to grab a Swiffer cloth. I didn't have one on my desk, so I just grabbed a paper towel and gently rubbed. But the key is to make sure that you let it cool first. And then I'm just going to go ahead and trim that down. And I have a couple of different trimmers, I know we all do. And this particular one from Fiskars has the wire in it. And I use the wire to kind of line up my lines and figure out where everything's going to cut, especially when doing a small piece like this. For me, it's easier to see and line up, and it wanted to give me a little bit of a problem, but once I got it mostly cut, I just trimmed it with my snips, and I'm going to trim off the ends and then create little banners. So create little V's on each side. It's so tiny. And then what I decided to do was, instead of using my foam tape, I have extra of this, the pop, I guess it would be foam dots or whatever. And I don't throw the whole thing away. Whatever's left over, I can use that. And I just trimmed a little bit of that and popped my sentiment on that, and it gives it a little bit of added dimension. So here's our final project. Thank you guys so much for joining me today. Make sure that you hit the like and subscribe button. Excuse me. And at the very end of the video, I will make sure to have links to previous Color Sunday videos. And if you're new to my channel, if you click on my photo, you can subscribe and hit the bell so that way you'll be alerted whenever I upload new videos. So thank you guys again. Join me on Tuesday for another technique video, and I hope you guys have a blessed day.